for warm hospitality. It is touching and amazing to see how generous the people here in this great ACN event are. And I also want to say thank you very much, ACN, for matching every euro. We are very proud of the good and warm relation between the Ronald McDonald House of Charities and the ACN. Your conventions annually raise more than $500,000 for RMHC around the world, and that's great because your money finds its way to our houses all over the world, like here in the Netherlands. In the Netherlands, we started with the Ronald McDonald House Charities 30 years ago with a house near the Emma Hospital, Children's Hospital in Amsterdam. It was the first house in Europe. Now we have 15 houses all over the Netherlands, near hospitals for families whose child is ill and needs to stay in the hospital. It is essential that parents can be close to their sick child in this situation, and because of our Ronald McDonald houses, parents have the possibility to be with their child every moment of the day in just a few minutes. During their time in the house, the family can live their life in our cozy and warm ambience and do the things they normally do, like cooking, washing their clothes, watch television, have a drink, talk with each other, and, that's very important, talk with other parents and share their sorrows with them. This beautiful and generous gift will help us to continue our beautiful work here in Rotterdam, near the Sophia Children's Hospital, but also in the 14 other houses in our country. Thank you very much on behalf of all our staff and all our 1,600 volunteers who are always there for parents when they need them most. And a special thank you, I will say, on behalf of the 5,000 families we provided a warm home every year. Thank you very much.
Now we would like to wrap things up for the weekend if I could, and to start things off, we'd just like to take the time to thank a lot of people that are behind the scenes, because this weekend simply would not be possible if it weren't for their great efforts. And just because you don't see these people doesn't mean that they're not significant. They are very significant, not only to this business, but to our lives as co-founders. And the first people that we want to thank are all the ACN staff. And if I could, just let me tell you a little bit about these people. These are people that go above and beyond in everything that they do. I can't tell you how proud we are to be surrounded by such a dedicated staff that have done so much behind the scenes. These people wake up early and they stay out late. They put together all the PowerPoints that we were able to see, all the notes, everything that we do in order to make this weekend a special weekend for all of you. They work behind the scenes very diligently so that we could enjoy the last 3 days. And so if you could you help me congratulate these people and thank them for everything that they do? All of our ACN staff, in every area, every department. Can we show how much we really appreciate the ACN employees worldwide?
Oh la la,
They are really a great group. I also want to thank the entire production team this weekend for the audio SVPs and the 2014 Circle of Champions. They all did a wonderful job. Can we thank Larry Raskin for his contribution this weekend? He's been able to do it. And last but certainly not least, I just want to take a moment to thank each and every one of you that are here. You know, without you agreeing to come to Rotterdam, we would not have an event. And so we know that many of you are here for the very first time. You put your faith and trust and hope in us, in believing that by being here, something significant would happen for you. And I just hope and pray that that's exactly what these last 3 days have done. And so give yourselves a round of applause for showing up to Rotterdam today, this weekend. You know, over the last 3 days, this has really been one of those weekends that we're gonna remember the rest of our lives. We set things in motion over the last 3 days, and I'm telling you, from this weekend forward, ACN will never be the same. We talked to the Circle of Champions on Thursday, and we painted a vision. We painted a vision to all the leaders on Friday morning. And all of you are going to be hearing about that vision as we move forward with 2014. And what I'm here to tell you to close things out is that everything is in place for all of you. We've seen validation of this opportunity over the last 3 days. We've seen tremendous amounts of recognition, tremendous amounts of promotions. You heard about our expansion into Mexico, our 24th country. Does that sound like a company that's standing still or is going to just go to rest? No. It sounds like a company that's on the move. And so there's no question of whether or not there's an opportunity here. ACN will be here to deliver for you and your family if in fact you deliver. And the only variable in this whole equation of whether or not you can be successful at ACN is you. Because everything else is in place. And so there are 2 questions that I would like to ask you, or maybe you ask yourselves. And here are the 2 questions, and how I'm going to close the event out is, are you willing to become the person that you need to become? And are you willing to put the time, the energy, and the effort to do what it takes in order to win for you and your family? Yes or no?
Yes!
So these are the 2 things that I want to talk about today to wrap things up. And I have to tell you something before I get into these 2 things. I came up with 5 qualities that I think are critical. I want you to know something very important. That we are just like you. We needed something to work for our families when we started ACN, just like many of you are here today. And you need ACN to work for your family. And so we're no different than you. The only difference is we put a lot of years into doing what we're doing. We've been working diligently and very hard for the last 21 years, which has brought us to this point. So it's no secret, it's no magic. What we need to do is to make sure that we continue to put one foot in front of the other, and the very same thing can happen to you. And over the last 21 years, I thought about some things that have happened for us that have brought us to this point. And I came up with 5 qualities that we had allowed us to build ACN to be the company that we are today. And if you adopt what I'm about to tell you, listen very closely. Some of you, and I don't care where you're sitting, I don't care how big your organization is, listen. Some of you someday will be as big as ACN is right now. You will. And so I want to share with you these 5 qualities that we had and continue to have to bring ACN to be where we're at. And if you adopt what I'm about to tell you, there's a good chance that you'll have the same or better success than we had. And here they are. The first quality that we had that we need to adopt is that we were totally committed committed to what we set out to do, no matter what. You see, we never entertained the thought of quitting. Do you think we ever had a bad day, yes or no?